morning every weekday and join Akinloye on CradleRadio. Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on CradleRadio.
This is CradleRadio. This is CradleRadio.
This is CradleRadio.
And this is when I say good morning, and good morning to each and everybody out there. Hopefully I'm live on this portal, right? Let's check this one out real quick. And hopefully, if you're just joining us on Facebook, or if we're just getting connected on Facebook, I say welcome aboard. It's always pretty and it's always good and always a blessed feeling to be here. And this is when I say, this is Canada.
Wake up in the
All right, when you want to jump from different place to the other in the morning, it's like your head is fixated in a place, but it's divided into 3 places or 4 places, as the case may be. My name is Akinloye, and I welcome you on to This is Canada. It's a flagship from CradleRadio that allows you to be able to be a part of happenings around Canada. And perhaps those happenings might just be something you're experiencing in your part of the world. We'll definitely welcome you aboard as well. So it's not restricted and non-restrictive in any way. It's Matured Radio, people. And I say good morning that way. It's called This is Canada. We talk social, political, economic, cultural things happening around Canada in the morning. From Mondays through Thursday, from the hours of 10 to 11 in the morning. And we're broadcasting live on CradleRadio. And besides being on CradleRadio, we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube as well. We're grateful for all the responses we've been having. We're thankful for all the people that have joined our pages on different platforms. We're appreciative of the views as well. It's highly appreciated. Especially when you're doing something and you know people are enjoying or getting informed or educated with what you're doing. This is a flagship from CradleRadio. Don't forget that. And if you're a regular on the show, you'll understand that my first few minutes is all about giving credit to my Creator. Understanding that aspect of my life is so huge and important. You don't have to go to church to understand there is a God. You don't have to go to them religious places to know there is a God. Some people even have God up in their veins more than people will go to church or will go to, other religious places. God works in mysterious ways. It definitely does in mysterious ways. If I'm sitting down and I'm praising God for the early hours of my morning, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. And wherever my mom is up there, she'll be dancing and she'll be joyous, happy that, oh boy, he came into the fold. It's a blessing, people. The fact that you're going to sleep and wake up is a blessing. The fact that you're going to have something on your table to eat in the morning is a blessing. And the fact that you're able to even talk was a blessing. And the fact that you would be able to acknowledge the numb, because some things happen to us every day, we think it's a numb. But acknowledging that numb is a blessing. Realization to acknowledge that numb is a blessing. You look at yourself and you see yourself and things happening to you, and you just, at the back of your mind, you can say, it can only be God. It can only be God. There is a God. Wow. I'm about going the other way, but not when I'm praising my Creator. I know when I'm praising my Creator, I'm not gonna do that. My Creator is omnipotent, the Alpha and the Omega. I'm not trying to sway you into my belief system like I normally tell you. I'm just thankful, and I feel blessed. All right. Having said that, now let's get to where we're gonna get to this morning, and it's gonna be bumpy. If you really want to understand how things work around in Canada, you better listen to this one this morning. You gotta listen to this one this morning, man. And that's right. Some people take what the country gives them with levity. They look at it and you go like, yeah, it's nothing. Now, I'm not one of those. I'm appreciative of each and every moment my beloved Canada gives me. Oh, yeah. I'm so appreciative of it. Sometimes I want to yell out. I want to roll out. I want to say, yeah, people. Sometimes I just want to I'm just grateful and thankful. Some people might say, is it the best that can happen to anybody? But you never know. To whom much is given, much is, how do they say that saying again? Much is expected. I love me, my Canada. And I call it is my Canada. I gotta pull this one up a little bit. I kinda like this short. All right, let's see. I kinda like it, yeah, from where it is. Yeah, it's cool, kinda cool. It's really good. All right, the headline this morning is going this way, and we're going this way. Parole denied. But is Canada still at risk? The terror threat, immigration failure, and a system that reacts too late. It's lengthy, but nonetheless, it makes a lot of sense. Just flipping through the news like I normally do. I was flipping through it the other day, and I came across this individual out of Quebec, a Moroccan immigrant. We're gonna look at his backstory as well this morning. If time permits us, we're gonna look at his backstory, and we're gonna look at a whole lot of other stuff. So the headline was actually taken out of this guy's parole been denied, and sometimes I say to people, because a country gives you so much leeway, because a country gives you so much opportunity and advantage, doesn't mean you should take that country for granted, and not at any point in time. If you must know, if my beloved country gives you that opportunity, you better make use of that opportunity in a positive way. You feel me? In the morning hour, this is Canada People. If you're just joining us for the very first time, welcome aboard. All we're doing is having to have a say as regards happening around Canada. Events, happenings, headlines, things that affect us by the day, on a daily. And we will talk about that and a whole lot more. Now, don't forget, you could be a part of this show by joining our social media handles. The likes of, practically everywhere on social media. So, social media handle is CradleRadio. CradleRadio. And then with that, you could be a part of this. Join our, Facebook page. Subscribe to YouTube channel. TikTok. Instagram, we're all in there. And what can we say? What can I say? Parole denied. I'm gonna look into the life of this guy in a minute, and we'll see what's going on in there. We want to have his name as well, right? It should be his name somewhere, so we can actually be on the same page as regards what we're looking at. And what we're looking at. And he's having been in prison for almost 2 decades now. But sometimes when you do stuff, those things are definitely gonna hunt you for the rest of your day. So you better be wary of what you do at any given point in time. Yeah, I wanna know. It's called Saeed Namu. He's 52 years old now. And he's been behind bars since 2007, according to the Parole Board of Canada. He's saying from the prisons now, he no longer believes in what he did. He says He has insisted he no longer believed in jihad, aimed at fighting injustice and oppression. The parole board said it could not accept him at his word. It's just sometimes you look at it and you ask yourself, what is really happening in the mindset of young men with radicalization and all that? A lot of people might say this morning, you know what, I don't want to go there, blah, 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 but it's a reality. Because when you decide to do whatever you decide to do, you're going to affect people's lives, people that are just going about their own daily lives, people. And this is not going to just come out as something that's aimed at a particular race, a religion, ethnicity. No, it's not going to be about that this morning. It's not. It's never about that anyways. Because this guy, after he immigrated to Canada in 2003, he joined the Global Islamic Media Front, an Al-Qaeda-affiliated terrorist group that produces propaganda and training manuals in several languages. You migrate into Canada in 2003, and that's the only thing that comes out of the top of your stupid head. You just want to come destroy the place that you migrated into. Come on. When you have other people doing great stuff, when you have other people building communities, contributing their encouraged communities are large, all you're thinking of is destruction. Is destruction. In 2006, Namoum began working with the Global Islamic Media Front operatives in Europe to threaten governments and plan attacks, specifically a suicide bombing. Sometimes I'm just gonna I look at things in a more pragmatic way. And what comes in my mind is totally different from what others probably perceive in their own ways. Believe you me, there's more to life than having to contribute to wanton destruction. It's just my saying. It's just what I feel. It's just what I believe. It's just what I believe. I just gotta take this one off real quick. Just gotta take this one off real quick. Yeah. Hopefully, CradleRadio is hearing us from its stables. Hopefully, they're getting the feedback from us that's really clear and loud as well. I just want to know, actually. But anyways, the show must go on. We'll deal with that when the time comes, yeah? Yeah, we're feeding them. Hopefully, they're hearing us. So, this guy, Saeed Namu, decided in 2003 he joined a Global Islamic Media Front. And it was producing propaganda and training manuals in several languages. And in 2006, Namoum began working with the GIMF operatives in Europe. You know, immigrated, and he had the capability and the capacity to even go to Europe to contribute in his own form of destruction in a better way. We're going political this morning, people, so that's what you gotta just be abreast of. And the organization that he joined at that moment in time threatened governments and planned attacks, specifically suicide bombings. Well, he believed in ideas promoting violence in the name of religion, and was convinced that it was justified to give your life for jihad. That's what the parole board said. Police arrested him in 2007 and was convicted of 4 counts of terrorism and sentenced to life. But he was allowed to apply for parole after serving 10 years. At a parole hearing earlier this month, the board said Namu has refused to participate in a psychological risk assessment, which are determined which had determined he remained specific concerning risk of violence individual. And the board even said he had received a warning from prison officials related to the production of religious pamphlets that were found in his cell. And I'm getting somewhere this morning, people. I'm getting somewhere. I know time is never our friend, but we'll work around that, and we're going to work around that real quick. All right. And he had been leading Muslim prayers in violation of rules as well in prison. In reaching its decision, Parole said it was not convinced the mood had undergone a genuine change in thinking during his years behind bars. He insisted that the GIMF was not a terrorist organization or group and continued to legitimize the use of violence in certain situations according to the decision. His recent entries in his logbook indicates that he continues to view the world through a prism of oppressed and oppressors, which was consistent with logic that motivated these offenses. And that's where the board insisted. You show little, if any, remorse or empathy for the victims of your crimes, but expressing guilt towards those who have to leave without due to your incarceration, a decision said. And I'm just going on and on and on and on. So we got to know what the decision was, and we'll go back to that aspect that we want to really figure into this conversation today. The board also noted that Namu's case management team was one of the opinion that you still legitimize the use of violence in certain situations, such as self-defense or the defense of your country. Your feelings of persecution, discrimination, and victimization remain evidence. When he's let out of prison, if he's let out of prison, Namu will likely be arrested by the Canada Border Service agencies, which has obtained an order for his deportation. But Namu could also delay his departure from Canada by claiming he faces a risk of return to Morocco. What kind of risk are you going to face if you return to Morocco? And with that, well, it's still an if, all right? It's still an if. And he could be released from custody while the CBSA processes his request. Beg your pardon. And, he's just on and on about what the board said. And for me, it's just detailed enough. It's detailed enough to be able to understand radicalization. So, the parole denied. But my big question this morning is Canada still at risk? The terror threat? Immigration failure? Yeah, immigration failure. And a system that reacts too late. And when we say immigration failure this morning, we're not just looking at one particular race or individual or set of people. We're thinking about people who even come into Canada and want to change the appearance of that nation. They come around into Canada and all of a sudden they're not assimilating or immersing themselves into the Canadian culture, but they want to change it to suit their own. You're coming from somewhere saying you want a better life, but then you're bringing in everything you're bringing in, which was what resulted in you wanting or claiming to have a better life. But when you come in here, you bring in that thing that you was not making your life a better life. You're bringing into the country that you profess that you want to live in because you want a better life. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying this morning. It's crazy, right? Look around you. Look around you. The face of Canada is changing drastically. Where people will lie that they want to come to Canada to have a Canadian experience and a Canadian way of life immersed in their system. But systematically, they want to change the face of Canada. Parole denied. It better be denied. And that's for real. It's a privilege to be in places that you're welcome and you're given a fresh breath of life. One of the craziest things that could ever happen to man or human is having to change your location from a place to another location. It's like changing your destiny. That's the way it looks at me. That's the way it looks for me, for instance. Because you live in your friends, you live in your family, you live in what you've always known, to be a part of. Environment that you're used to. But it must be for a purpose, though. It must be for a purpose. It must be for a reason. The better life. The better life. So if it is for a reason, the reason needs to be understood by all. You don't come to Canada and swinging your swords. You come to Canada and when you see that places are clean, you pile up refuse after different functions. It's not who we are. Immigration is going to be for another day, though. But today we're looking at the denial of parole to a convicted terrorist, Saeed Mahmoud, of Moroccan origin in Quebec, which has reignited a difficult but necessary national conversation. One, being public safety. Two, immigration integrity. And what happens after radicalization takes root. And now let's be clear, this is not about race, religion, or nationality. It's not about none of that. This is about risk, accountability, and prevention. I love those three lines: risk, accountability, and prevention. Canadian authorities rule that the individual continues to pose a threat. Yes, it does. But it also exposes a bigger crack in the system. And when other people are saying, guard your borders real good, I think sometimes somebody criticizes us as individuals or as a community at large, we should probably look into those criticisms and ask ourselves, is it the way it is? Is it what is happening? Is it how we've been looked upon outside? Is this our reality? Now those questions remains, and it does remain. It's just amazing, really. First, we must also look at how individuals with extremist ideologies are able to enter, remain, or fall through the cracks of the Canadian immigration and security screening processes. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere, right? This is Canada, people. This is Canada.
Wake up in the morning every weekday and join Akinloye on Cradle Radio.
Friends of mine were discussing the other day, and we said we were just having a debate, a tete-a-tete, so to say, not a debate anyways. And it was like, strong immigration policy is not anti-immigrant. It's not, it was one of the conclusions we had then. A strong immigration policy is not anti-immigrant. It's just public safety. 75% of the people, I'm just assuming, living in Canada now, we had one time other immigrants, if not 80% or 90%. The owners of the land are the natives, but there were people that built Canada, Kanata, as it was called at that moment. Were people that built it to be what it is today, that place that everybody wants to come for on holidays. Summertime is bussin'. and everything happens at that moment in time. And not only that, our winters too. Some people enjoy the winter in a way, but a way of just going on sledges and skiing. So it's an all year round process of accepting people in and out, tourists alike, immigrants wanting to come in at all costs. But nonetheless, Canadians deserve assurance that background checks, intelligence sharing, and post-arrival monitoring are robust, modern, and responsive to evolving threats. Second, denial of parole alone is not a solution. Prison without progress only delays danger. If radical beliefs remain intact behind bars, release whenever it comes becomes a ticking clock. Like the same guy who's applied for parole is still in prison, engaging in his own activities that led him in there in the first instance. It's still there. Still there. Doing what it was put in prison for. Good morning, Talashi. How you doing? Good morning. Wherever you are in the part of the world this morning. Intelligence sharing is key. And post-arrival monitoring are robust, modern, and responsive to evolving threat. And I tell you something. Second, a denial of parole alone is not a solution. Prison without progress only delays danger. If radical beliefs remain intact behind bars, release whenever it comes becomes a ticking clock. And this is where radicalization and rehabilitation programs must move from theory to fully funded practices. And you practically want to ask yourself another question about this one. You say, how comfortable is this guy in prison? Because he might just be that guy who's just comfortable in prison. You understand my point? It might just be that guy who's just comfortable. He's just comfortable in prison. It's just some guy that's just like, yeah, you know what? Prison might be a 5-star or 4-star hotel for him. There's some prisons. I watch a video of this and I see one of the craziest prisons in the whole world. You know, you go to South America, you're going to see some crazy prisons and that. Ooh. Some prison that if you've been told you're going to be taken there, you're going to rescind your actions. You're gonna look back. You're gonna say to yourself, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But in a society where everything we talk about is about, you know what? Rights this, rights that. Rights been taken, this and that. You might just say to yourself, what is really happening? You might say to yourself, are we really getting there as a group of people? Is prison itself a form of rehabilitation? And those are questions to ask, right? A denial of parole alone is not a solution. This is where radicalization and rehabilitation programs must move from theory. It must move from theory. And rehabilitation programs must move from theory to fully funded practices. Canada needs evidence-based re-radicalization initiatives that involves psychologists, community leaders, former extremists, and security experts. You know, program that confronts ideology, dismantle extremist narratives, and rebuild identity around lawful, peaceful belonging. We got work to do, people. We got work to do. And another thing is accountability must extend beyond incarceration. ongoing risk assessment, stricter parole thresholds for terror-related offenses. In a nutshell, we need to be stronger and harder. And clear consequences for non-cooperation in de-radicalization programs are essential, very essential. This parole denial should not just be a headline, it should be a wake-up call. It should be a wake-up call. And a wake-up call in terms of stronger immigration reform, smarter security screening, serious de-radicalization, because protecting lives is not optional and prevention is always better than regret, right? No, it's better than regret. Totally. And this time around, Quebec has said no. No to parole, no to early release, no to gambling with public safety. No. We need to ask ourselves a bigger question. Are background checks deep enough? Are intelligence agencies sharing information fast enough? Are warning signs ignored in the name of political convenience? Politically being correct, being nice, being the nice one out of the whole lot, out of the whole bunch. Canada is just nice. And maybe people taking advantage of that niceness. Immigration security is not about exclusion. It's about selection, screening, and supervision. This is my point this morning. So if you come around, he's saying this and that, oh, my parole is denied, you better know the reason why your parole is denied. You gotta know, you better know. But is Canada still at risk? The terror threat, immigration failure, and the system that reacts too late. That question needs to be answered by you, because I'm posing it to you this morning. Bigger question is, are we still at risk? Are we still at risk? But to be a part of this show, you can always join us on our social media handles. If you have information for us, don't forget you can write through the email on screen right now. It's info@CradleRadio.com. You can send your messages through that way. And also you could join our social media handles. We are Cradle Radio on practically all media platforms. Cradle Radio. Yeah, Cradle Radio, just like, you see this? Yeah, hopefully. It's one of those things that, as humans, intelligence is key into our disposition, especially as it affects our interaction on a daily. Intelligence. You come to a country filled with milk and honey, and all you could think about is destruction. You gotta ask yourself a pertinent question this morning. Are you normal? Are you sane? If destruction is the only thing that abides within you or surrounds you, just look around. You only got one life to live. It's not like you're gonna have double life or 7 lives or 9 lives, as some myth will say. Once you're gone, you're gone. You're raised. If the Creator gives you a chance, a second chance, into having a better life, why don't you just make use of it? Hopefully, this can hit home to somebody this morning. My name is Akinloye. It's been a pleasure doing this. We'll do the same tomorrow. It happens from the hours of 10 to 11 Eastern Time, from Mondays through Thursday. We talk, we analyze, we educate, we contribute, we advise on certain things as it affects my Canada. And if perchance those things might be used upon in your part of the world, right, wherever, because we know we're global on Cradle Radio. So wherever you are, you might just want to just make use of some advices or some of the observations that we've had. You're welcome. You know, it's just not about, it's not a case of something being a crowd. It's always a case of having to help out when we can. It might just be words that comes out of our mouth. It might just be comments that we line up after such discussions. It might just be any other thing that would improve the socio-cultural existence of mankind. And if we can do that, hopefully we can sleep safe at night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, keep safe, stay warm. I'll say stay warm because I'm on minus. What's the temperature now? I think I'm on 0 degrees now, right? Yesterday I was on -6 or thereabout. Sometimes I was on -12. But you know what? It's my lovely country. I love it. I'm glad I'm experiencing it. I've been experiencing it for way too long, but nonetheless, it's still a blessing from my side. Have yourself a wonderful day, people. Stay safe, be blessed, and please abide by the rules of a country that you're living in.
Wake up in the morning every weekday.
This is Cradle Radio.
This is Cradle.